All right, this is going to be a quick little video explanation of your homework 10. I do want you to kind of finish all of the 18 problems and turn this in for a grade where I'll be checking for your work and your understanding and accuracy. So I'm going to go over pretty much kind of the odds, just break down each section. So the first 5 questions are one-step equations. So you just have to do one inverse operation. An operation is opposite of the operation in the equation to solve. So like on number 1, since the variables y are constant terms, let me get my pencil real quick. Our constant terms here are the negative 17 and the negative 37, negative because it's minus. So this is the one operation we see is the minus 17. So the inverse, the opposite of minus 17 is plus 17. So remember, whatever we write on one side of the equal sign, this is like a balance beam. Whatever we write on one side, we have to write on the other. And so this negative 17 constant cancels. And so our final answer is y equals a negative 37 plus 17 is a negative 20. Okay, so it's just one step right here that I have to use to solve it. Now for a problem like number 3 here, remember, you have to remember if I have a number in front of a variable that's showing multiplication, the inverse of multiplication is division. So you would have to just divide by 5 on both sides to cancel out this constant, this coefficient, sorry, not constant, the coefficient, number in front of a variable's coefficient, and then we get m equals negative 4 here. And then we have to remember what to do when we have fractions, okay? X over 9 is like saying x divided by 9. So this fraction is showing division as an operation. But if I have the fraction as a coefficient, so this fraction on number 5, 4/5, is in front of the variable z. So to get rid of the fraction coefficient, you multiply by the reciprocal. So I'm just showing parentheses to show multiplication, and we'll put 5 on the top, 4 at the bottom. Okay. And this is where you might have to use your calculator to help with this part, because this part we can put in the calculator to solve. So the fractions cancel, I'm left with z, and I'm just going to kind of recap that here with the calculator. That would mean you would, come on, let me get my calculator open. You're doing 16, then the parentheses, 5 over 4. And so when we're doing our fraction in the calculator, when I do 16 parentheses, the fraction 5/4, you have to hit the green alpha button, then the y equals button, which is above the blue button right here. Now we get enter to our fraction box. We're going to put a 5, arrow down to the bottom, 4, arrow to the right, close the parentheses, and hit enter. And so we see that z is actually going to be 20 here. So this step is different than 4 because since this is showing divide by 9, the inverse of division is a multiply by 9. Now, when we get to our next set of problems, pretty much 6 through 17, these are our two-step equations. Remember, on a problem like this, I'll start with number 7 here. The first step is to always undo the adding or subtracting to get rid of the constant. This is a plus 7. To undo that, we have to do minus 7 on both sides of the equal sign. And then don't forget your sign. This is negative 5a is equal to, and then we're doing negative 38 minus 7 is a negative 45. And now to get rid of the coefficient, this is negative 5. Whatever sign is there, we have to keep. So divide by negative 5. A is a positive 9. Okay. Now on something like number 9 here, still undo the adding or subtracting. Since we have subtracting, to undo that, we have to add 15 on both sides. The 15 constant cancels, and we rewrite the equation as 8 over 3, x over 3, equals, now this is a negative plus a positive here. The difference of those is 8, and this is showing division. X divided by 3, the inverse of division is multiplication. So then we would multiply, get rid of that 3, so x is 24. Okay. Now when you get to 11 on, now we have fraction coefficients. Okay. And so we're still going to undo the addition or subtraction. Since I have addition here, I'm going to minus, do the opposite always, to undo or to cancel. Now we have 4/3 V equals, we did 33 minus the 25 is going to leave us with 8. And now that we have this coefficient of 4/3, to get rid of the fraction, you multiply both sides by the reciprocal, which is 3/4. So V would equal 6 when it's all said and done. And so this part is the part you would end up putting in the calculator, because this would cancel here, leaving you just a V. Please pay attention to your signs, okay? Like I'm going to jump to I'll look at number 11 here. The operation in the equation is subtraction. So you have to do the opposite of that, which means add 1 to both sides. So 12 equals 4/5 H. And now you're getting rid of the fraction. Now, problem something like on number 15, this is a negative 3/8. Hold on. All right, so now we're going to get rid of this fraction 4/5 by multiplying by the reciprocal, which is 5/4, and then 5/4. So one way, a shortcut into doing this is the bottom number. You can ask yourself, can 4 go into 12? And it can 3 times. And so then we're just saying 5 times 3, which gives us 15. That's a way to kind of, if you wanted to know some mental shortcuts, that's a way to do that. Now, what I was trying to get to on 15 is, and I apologize if the video went crazy, is just don't forget your signs. Our first step here would be to undo the plus 44, so plus 41, minus 41. And then don't forget this sign right here. So we have negative 3/8 R equals actually a negative 63. And then now we're multiplying by the reciprocal. Because this is a negative 3/8, so you're going to make it a negative 8/3. Okay, and then again, like I said, shortcut could be, can 3 go into 63? Yes, it can. It could go into 63, and actually it's a negative 63. It will go into that negative 21 times, and then we're just multiplying negative times negative. That makes that positive 168. And the last type of problems I want to go over is number 17. So here, remember we have an expression. This is a number, a variable, and operation on top of the fraction like that. Then a shortcut to do this is to create 2 fractions. To change this negative 9 as a fraction by putting it over 1. And then we're going to cross multiply. But remember, anything times 1 stays the same. So even though I'm saying 1 times n minus 4, we're just going to write n plus 4. And I said minus, but n plus 4. But then we cross multiply here. Negative 2 times a negative 9, excuse me, is 18. And now we're down to a one-step equation. Minus 4 minus 4. And our answer, n equals 14. All right, so there's your help with that. You're going to need to know this skill for our next part of our activity tomorrow. All right, thanks, guys.